Luchi. Good to see you. Again, we obviously didn't get to talk too much about the game last week, but I also feel it's important maybe just one more time reflect back on the incident, during the game. Now that we've seen statements come out from the clubs, the league, as well as follow-up statements from the Red Bulls, and just your reflections, on the incident. What have you either learned or what did you feel maybe wasn't said the other day or a point of emphasis that you want to come back to regarding the situation, how you personally handled it and how your team handled it? Thank you.
Yeah, obviously with time that passes, you get more information, there's more clarity. There was lack of clarity and just understanding, right, in the moment during the game and immediately after the game. We were all processing it, the clubs, the league, the players especially. So it's good to have some more clarity. I know there's still an ongoing investigation with potential announcements and consequences, or even more than consequences, just opportunity to learn and grow and rehabilitate and improve for ourselves, the league, our society, this country, the world, the future, the youth. So I think it's as time will pass, I think there's hopefully there's going to be this opportunity for all of us to improve and learn. So again, I'll stand by how proud I am of our players and our club to stand by each other and listen to each other. And I'm really proud of these players to be together, to have their own process of listening and learning during the game in this unfortunate situation and mood. But then, having their own conversations with each other as teammates, with the opponent, the Red Bulls players. I had my statements before about what was decided or not, but I am proud of our players, and I'm proud of us just sticking together, listening, and holding, holding this accountable. So I think the league now is going to continue to learn more this week, and hopefully we're hopeful that there are decisions and ongoing protocols and procedures that can prevent this from happening to the point where it never happens again, and then also give support and learning opportunities for us to get better. So that's pretty much all I have to say about it at this point, and I'm looking forward to continuing to learn more about it and support these players who are the most important advocates and people in our league who are not perfect, but certainly I have to be really proud of our guys. And the way we act is important before the way we play. So, regarding the game or the last game, next game, I believe we have a high character group of players and individuals, and we want to keep showing that on and off the field.
Next up, Alex Morgan.
Hi, Luchi. Thanks for speaking with us today. Thanks again for that clarity. I think super helpful. I'm curious, when something, traumatic like that happens to the individual players and to the team as a whole, how do you process that as a team? Have you taken time with the group to talk about it and have those discussions? And is it difficult as a team then to have to move your focus to next weekend's game? I assume these are things that have brought up a lot of strong emotions in the group and might be difficult to work through together.
Yeah, so look, immediately after the game, there were obviously private conversations and with individuals, small groups, and staff, club, players. And, I think it was a very natural reaction and response to just kind of support each other and listen to each other. and learn more, right, about what we've all experienced. So again, I'm going to say it again, but I'm just proud of our guy, like Jeremy, Amito Monteiro, and Jonah, obviously having reactions and strong reactions, which they should have based on what happened. But at the same time, having dialogue with each other, talking with the refs, with the opponent, with us as the staff. So, we got feedback with the guys too, in terms of like, man, if we ever had this experience again, how can we learn from it? What can we do to improve next time? I don't think there's a perfect way to respond, or there's not a perfect perspective of this, apart from the fact that it's unacceptable. That's the only, I would say, absolute of this whole thing, is that it's unacceptable. Now that things are more clear, and that what was accused to be said was said, and in fact owned by the person that said it, then now we can move forward and say how unacceptable that is, and that's clear, that's absolute. Now, in terms of process, procedure for the refs, the league, the clubs, the players, the staff, I think there's still a lot of unknowns, but I know we're open to learning and trying to do our part to be a great example for this league and for our future youth, and so we've had conversations. We're proud of how we did collaborate, be together, talk, and I think the players they appreciate also us listening and also giving them the opportunity to be leaders. And it's not easy to have moments of deciding this or that, and I don't want to say what's right or wrong at this point, but in terms of the process, but I do think we can improve if this were to happen again, to be more clear. How do we handle it in the moment, in real time, after the game, and then immediately after? So, and I'm confident the clubs and the league will improve this. I believe they will, from the experience.
Next question, Fabian Renkel.
Thanks, Luchi, for taking the time to ask a question or answer a question today. And a little sorry to kind of beat a dead horse here, and the two guys before me had great questions. Christian Espinoza, I want to talk a little bit about his leadership in that moment. I know Jeremy, Miro, and Jonah all had big reactions to that moment. But once Christian Espinoza scored a goal, he might have, celebrated in a way that's one of the most iconic ways for the Quakes organization and possibly for MLS soccer in this next couple of years. I want to talk a little bit about his leadership in that moment and how he, brought all the guys together to do that gesture as a team. If you can explain a little bit about that, thank you.
Yeah, look, Christian, we've had many discussions about what a competitor he is, how hard he trains. He's a soldier to his teammates, to this club. He works so hard every day in training, and that's what he does in the games too. And he's not a player that depends on his talent. He depends on effort, intensity, and being a great teammate, being a great human being. What a great leader and example on and off the field. So, the boys, after a process of the guys deciding they want to move forward and play, and even Christian, you can observe Christian during that whole process, just listening, trying to understand the situation, and just being open, what was going to be decided. That we were all just open and ready to support. And I saw Christian do the same. And then when it was decided, the guys wanted to move forward and play, Christian, scored a great goal. And then his celebration was to show, man, you guys are all my brothers, no matter all of our differences in culture, backgrounds, and whatever languages, but we're brothers. And it was a beautiful thing to see that, and I'm proud of him and his teammates to have that moment together. Christian is a great teammate, and so not surprised.
Let's take a couple more second questions and go back to Jamin Moore for a second.
Hey, Luchi, let's talk a little bit about Sporting Kansas City, because this is a team that finished last year very hot, brought it pretty much back the same team, and has started off about as cold as a team can start. I believe they shoot the most shots in the league, or at least they did last I checked. maybe for low percentage chances, but you shoot enough of those, eventually they're going to start going in. And you faced a team earlier this season in Atlanta who has kind of a similar approach of shooting a lot, and you got a 1 in 500 chance that hurts you and took points away from you. So what is when you approach a team like this and you see the way that they kind of approach the game, how do you get this team to kind of focus in on a very different style than what you played last week with the Red Bulls and this team that is going to shoot any glimmer of daylight that you get them to be able to do so?
Yeah, look, I mean, any team coached by Peter and that staff with that experience and the pride that club has and how they perform, that is going to be a big challenge. So, I won't read into what these early points are looking like or streaks or this or that. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. Kansas City on any given day can beat anybody in this league, home or away, and we have to respect that because of the staff they have and the players they have. And they're a very good team that, like you said, maybe they're missing some efficiency. I would say we're also, I know we have some good positive data in terms of expected goals or those things, but we also in volume and crosses and shots. But we want to keep improving in our expected goals and efficiency of actual goals, and then taking volume of crosses and getting accuracy of the connections and getting shots on target. So we want to improve ourselves. We want to get better, and we want to know that we have a very hard opponent. And they're as hungry as they can be for points, we want to show that we're as hungry, if not hungrier, and that's the next challenge we have.
Thank you, Luchi. Let's do two more. Take a second one now from Alex Morgan.
Hi, Luchi. Thanks for taking another question. I also want to turn focus here a little bit to this weekend and thinking about Jackson Ewell and the performance that he had last weekend. I think it was one of the best performances we've seen from Jackson Ewell in a long time. Then getting a national team call up, the leadership that he's shown as captain of the team, it feels like he's really grown into this role that you have for him in the team. Can you talk about what you've seen from him and what he could offer this weekend?
Yeah, Jackson is a player I got to know 2 years ago with, my first experience in the national team, a year and a half ago when my first experience with the national team in a domestic camp. And I know him from the league, competing against him in the league. But now to get to know him personally and be on the same side together, it's been a great experience. He's just open to learning. You could see him grow in his confidence, from his body language, his tone, in how he leads the team in the game, and trying to be an example of belief and in desire and effort and intensity. He's doing it in training, and he's been a pleasure to work with, and he loves to perform. He has his artistry. He's creative. He's going to be a great player, helping in the build-up in different ways, between the lines, around the lines, over the lines, and supporting the attack. So he's really important for us with the ball. And then defensively, you can see organizing and helping in the press, closing things down, back pressing. So, and still has a high ceiling to keep growing and improve because of his age and because of his mentality. So just really proud of him. He's earned this next call-up, and we've shared ideas too about how the current technical staff in U.S. Soccer have worked in a way that I'm very familiar with, and I think he's going to recognize pressing triggers. He's going to recognize build-up ideas and where to occupy space and how to support build-up. So excited for the opportunity that he's earned, and hopefully we can keep working for him to earn more.
And one final question from Fabian Renkel.
Hey, Luchi, thank you for taking a second question. I want to talk a little bit about availability for this next upcoming week. Gresso played a couple of minutes for the last match, and then as well as Nico, and with Cade and Jackson leaving possibly for the next match, how are the guys looking coming in back to the fold? Thank you.
Yeah, look, the schedule's been pretty, consistent with just 1 week fixtures on the weekend, Saturdays, weekend, week out. We get a normal 5+ day microcycle and training. The schedule, I think, for all teams are going to start to get a little more intense and busy. With midweek fixtures, Open Cup. I know clubs in the Champions League and CONCACAF are already in that kind of flow, but we look forward to just continue to work hard, show our depth. Guys that have had to step up have done that in a really positive way. Maybe other guys that haven't had that opportunity as much, they're working hard, and we know they're going to be ready to step up so that we can show our depth if we need to make rotations or not. So, the guys in the national team, when they won't miss a fixture, but it'll interrupt their training during the week. So we'll see how we reintegrate them, just the same way we did guys that were in the international break the last time. Everybody is showing a positive availability at this point, with the exception of Daniel, who's still coming back. He's joining he's doing some really good side training, but he's not with the team yet. And then Nico as well is getting really close to being able to compete with the team, but he's not there yet. But everybody else is competing and should be available.
All right, thank you, Luchi, and thank you everyone for the questions. We'll have midfielder Jackson Ewell.
Sorry, thank you, Pedro. One thing, I want to thank everybody for support, just the support, in the situation from the last game. I really felt everybody was really open-minded and supportive of our club and the players, and going through that experience and making it more important in the game and moving forward. I just thought it was important that we all kind of showed solidarity. We can all have our opinions about this and that, and we all want to learn and grow, but I felt all of y'all's support with the team and the club, and I just want to say thank you.